Hey there, podcast enthusiasts and English learners. Welcome back to another exciting episode of MA English, where we turn everyday conversations into opportunities for growth and learning. And today's show is a little different. Think of it as your favorite advice column, but with a twist. Instead of just reading letters, we're diving deep into real life problems that could be yours, mine, or someone you know. And guess what? We're not just solving these dilemmas, we're doing it in a way that helps you practice your English too. Whether you're here for relationship tips, career guidance, or life hacks, this episode has something for everyone. So grab your coffee or tea if you're more traditional, and let's get started. But first, before we dive in, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. The more subscribers we have, the better content we can create for you. And hey, who knows? Maybe next time your question will be featured on this very podcast.
Okay, so this one comes from a listener who calls themselves Stress Friend. They write, "Dear Ben and Amy, I love my friend Sarah, but she's always complaining. Every conversation ends up being about how bad her job is, how terrible her boss is, or how unfair life feels. It's exhausting, and honestly, I feel drained after every interaction. How do I handle this negativity without losing a good friendship? Signed, Frustrated Friend."
Wow, that sounds tough. First off, kudos to you for even wanting to address this. A lot of people would just ghost their friends instead of trying to fix things.
Ghosting might sound tempting sometimes, but trust me, it never solves anything. Besides, cutting ties isn't exactly productive when all you really want is a little positivity in your life.
True, though I must admit, Ben, there are days when I think about ghosting certain people myself. But seriously, let's break this down. Why do you think Sarah acts this way? Is she consciously trying to bring others down?
Not necessarily. Sometimes people vent because they need an outlet. Maybe Sarah doesn't have anyone else to talk to. Or maybe she's so overwhelmed by her own problems that she doesn't realize how much energy she's draining from those around her.
That makes sense. Still, as her friend, you shouldn't have to carry all that weight. You deserve balance in your relationships too. What would you suggest, Ben? Should frustrated friend confront Sarah directly?
Now that's the million-dollar question. Confrontation can work, but only if done carefully. Imagine walking up to someone and saying, "Hey, you're too negative." That probably won't end well.
No kidding. Picture that scene. Poor Sarah would likely respond with, "Oh, great. Now you're judging me?" Not ideal.
Exactly. Instead, I'd recommend starting with empathy. Try asking open-ended questions like, "Hey Sarah, I've noticed you seem stressed lately. Is everything okay at work? Or is there anything specific bothering you that I can help with?" This approach shows concern rather than criticism.
I love that idea. By framing it as curiosity rather than accusation, you give Sarah space to open up without feeling attacked. Plus, it gives you insight into whether her negativity is situational or chronic.
Situational versus chronic, that's key. If Sarah's complaints stem from temporary stressors, like a difficult project or a bad week, then offering support could make a huge difference. But if her negativity runs deeper, if it's part of her personality or worldview, then the solution becomes trickier.
Tricky indeed. Chronic negativity often stems from deeper issues, like low self-esteem, depression, or even toxic thinking patterns. In cases like that, no amount of pep talks will magically fix things.
Right. And here's where boundaries come into play. As much as we care about our friends, we also need to protect ourselves. If Sarah's negativity starts affecting your mental health, it's perfectly okay to set limits.
Absolutely. For example, you could say, Sarah, I'm happy to listen whenever you need to vent, but I notice that our conversations tend to focus heavily on problems. Could we try talking about some positive things too? Like hobbies, fun plans, or things you're grateful for?
Gratitude journaling, anyone? Seriously though, shifting the conversation toward positives can create a healthier dynamic. Even small changes, like pointing out silver linings, can make a big impact over time.
Fine, fine. Let's wrap this up. To summarize, frustrated friend, here's what you can do. Approach Sarah with empathy and ask open-ended questions. Encourage balanced conversations by introducing positivity. Set healthy boundaries if her negativity becomes overwhelming. Consider seeking professional help if her struggles seem beyond your ability to assist.
And most importantly, take care of yourself. Friendships should enrich your life, not drain it. If Sarah refuses to meet you halfway, it might be time to reevaluate the relationship. All right, everyone, it's time for our next hot topic. Our listener writes in with a classic dilemma. Dear Ben and Amy, I've always wanted to pursue my passion for art, but my family doesn't understand or support it. They think I should focus on something more practical, like engineering or accounting. I feel stuck between following my dreams and making them happy. How can I navigate this lack of support without ruining our relationship? Signed, Dreaming Artist.
Oh, wow.
That's tough. So many people face this dilemma, wanting to chase their passions while dealing with familial expectations. First off, kudos to you for even trying to find a balance. Not everyone does that.
Absolutely. And let me tell you, navigating family dynamics is no easy feat, but hey, we're here to help. Let's break this down step by step.
First things first, why do you think families often push for practical careers over creative ones?
Well, from what I've seen, it usually comes down to fear. Fear of instability, financial insecurity, or societal judgment. Many parents want their kids to succeed in ways they define as safe or secure because they've lived through struggles themselves.
Exactly. It's not necessarily about undermining your dream. It's about protecting you from potential failure. But here's the thing. What if success looks different for you than it does for them?
Or what if success involves wearing paint-splattered jeans and living out of a van while painting murals across Europe?
Don't knock the van life, Ben. Some people thrive in unconventional settings. The point is, family members may not fully grasp the modern world of opportunities. Back in their day, pursuing art might have been riskier, but times have changed.
So, how do you approach this conversation without turning it into a heated argument? Communication is key, but it has to be done right.
Start by acknowledging their concerns. Say something like, I know you're worried about my future, and I appreciate that. But I also believe I'll be happier and more successful if I follow my passion. This shows respect for their perspective while asserting yours.
Great tip. Another strategy is to present evidence. Show them examples of artists who've made it big, freelancers who earn six figures, or creatives who've built thriving businesses. Data speaks louder than emotion sometimes.
True, but don't overwhelm them with stats. Remember, this isn't a debate, it's a dialogue. Keep it light and conversational. You could even share your own plan. Here's how I'm going to make this work. I'll start small, build a portfolio, and gradually grow my client base.
And if all else fails, bring up Ryan Reynolds. Everyone loves Ryan Reynolds. Mention how he dropped out of college to become an actor, and now he's one of the most successful entertainers in Hollywood.
Ryan Reynolds as a motivational speaker? Love it. Though I'd add that every journey is unique. Just because someone else succeeded doesn't mean you'll follow the exact same path. But it helps to show that risks can pay off.
You know, Amy, despite everything, family plays such a crucial role in our lives. Even when they don't agree with us, their intentions are usually good. We just need to find common ground.
Absolutely. Families provide love, stability, and yes, even tough love. The challenge is figuring out how to involve them in your journey without letting their doubts derail you.
Maybe invite them to participate in your process. Ask them to visit your studio, attend an exhibition, or give feedback on your work. Making them part of your journey can shift their perspective.
That's brilliant. Sometimes people just need to see the passion firsthand to truly understand it. Plus, involving them strengthens your bond. It's a win-win.
Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about Plan B. Because let's face it, having a backup plan never hurts. What if you combine your artistic talents with something practical, like graphic design, interior decorating, or teaching art classes?
Yes.
There are so many ways to monetize creativity. You don't have to choose between being an artist and earning a steady income. In fact, blending both can lead to incredible opportunities.
And who knows, maybe once they see you succeeding, your family will become your biggest cheerleaders. Nothing silences skeptics faster than results.
Exactly. Success talks. But until then, stay patient and persistent. Surround yourself with supportive friends, mentors, and communities who get your vision.
All right, everyone, we've come to our final segment of today's video. This one's a big one. Dear Ben and Amy, I'm 19 years old, and I feel completely lost. Everyone around me seems to have their lives figured out: college plans, career goals, relationships, but I don't know what I want to do or who I am. How can I start finding my purpose? Signed, Directionless Teen.
The classic quarter-life crisis. Trust me, Ben, I was there once too. At 19, feeling lost is practically a rite of passage. You're not alone, directionless teen.
And let's be real here, it's okay to feel lost. In fact, it's better than pretending you've got everything figured out when you actually don't. So, first things first, take a deep breath. This is just the beginning of your journey.
You know, one reason so many people in their late teens and early 20s feel this way is because society puts immense pressure on us to choose our paths early. College applications, job interviews, social media, it all adds up.
Social media especially. Instagram influencers making six figures at 20. TikTok stars traveling the world. It's enough to make anyone question their life choices before they've even started.
Exactly. But guess what? Most of those influencers didn't wake up one day knowing exactly what they wanted to do either. They experimented, failed, and kept going until they found something that worked for them.
Right. And remember, directionless teen, no one has their life fully figured out, not even the people who seem like they do. The truth is, most of us are figuring it out as we go along.
So, where do you start if you're feeling stuck? Well, step one is exploration. Think about the things you enjoy doing, even if they seem small or insignificant. Do you love drawing, writing, cooking, playing video games?
Video games? As a valid interest? Say it isn't so.
Yes, Ben, video games. Gamers often develop incredible problem-solving skills, teamwork abilities, and creativity. Plus, gaming communities can lead to amazing opportunities like esports, content creation, or game design.
All right, you convinced me. The point is, whatever sparks joy for you, explore it further. Take classes, watch tutorials, join clubs, or find online communities related to your interests.
And don't limit yourself to traditional hobbies either. Maybe you're fascinated by space exploration, ancient history, or sustainable fashion. There's a whole world out there waiting for you to discover it.
But here's the thing. Exploration takes time, and that's okay. It's tempting to rush into decisions because everyone else seems to be moving forward, but rushing rarely leads to clarity.
Absolutely. Sometimes, the best thing you can do is embrace uncertainty. Ask yourself questions like, what excites me? What makes me curious? What keeps me up at night thinking about possibilities?
Or, more importantly, what would I do even if no one paid me to do it? If money weren't a factor, how would you spend your days?
That's such a fun question. For some people, the answer might be painting murals, writing novels, or coding apps. For others, it might involve hiking mountains, volunteering, or starting a business.
At the end of the day, directionless teen, remember this. It's okay to not know right now. Life isn't a straight line. It's a winding road full of twists, turns, and detours. The important part is keeping moving forward, one step at a time.
Exactly. You're young, you're curious, and you have endless potential ahead of you. Trust the process, trust yourself, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way.
And to all the other 19-year-olds watching this, know that you're not alone. We've all been there, wondering what comes next. But the beauty of life is that you get to write your own story.
That's all for today's episode of Advice Column. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for supporting MA English. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to us.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and most importantly, keep believing in yourself. See you soon.